Hello friends, welcome back. In this particular video, I'm going to demonstrate multi ways to connect with Wago IO board and access the field data without any communication protocol, which means you are going to read the data unscaled directly from the Wago IO board into your system. Yes, it is not only with the CoDeSys. So CoDeSys is one way, but Wago CC100 provide another ways to connect to their Wago IO board, which is Node-RED. You can utilize Python. You can utilize .NET, Java, any of the programming language. So let's check how exactly we can start and connect to the Wago IO board and get data seamlessly into the different options. So the first option which I'm going to describe here is for the Node-RED part. So let's start how exactly we can configure the Node-RED on the Wago CC100. So in order to configure the Node-RED, we need to have a Docker enabled. So if I'm connected to the Wago CC100 using web server as well as with the putty to show how exactly we can enable the Docker. So now it is pretty easy that we need to go to the web server. We have a Docker section in the configuration where we need to say service enabled and we have to click on a submit. Once we submit it, it is enabled and running. Now when we go to the putty and we can say docker info, we can see that Docker has been enabled and it is running without any issue. Okay. So after that, there are steps that you can move it to the SD card. You can have your own SD card. So all those things we can do. Okay. But before that, we need to do is to set up the clock, because if we do not set up the clock properly, we will not be able to download any of the container into the system. It will not allow to connect and download. So that is a normal network uh, things which doesn't allow for the security reason that you can connect to any of the uh, cloud feature. Okay. So once you are able to configure the time, then we can actually easily connect to the Docker Hub to download the Node-RED. So if you see right now, it will allow me to pull the latest. So I have given pull. Okay, so it is not allowing me because it is giving some different error. So in the Wago CC100, we cannot download directly the latest version of the Node-RED. So that is another thing which we need to keep in mind. And we will go to the Docker Hub Center, and then from there we will select a specific module for the Node-RED which is designed for the ARM based. So if we go to the Node-RED into the Docker Hub, and inside that we can see the tags. Okay, so in the tags we can find the command which is made for ARM based. Okay, so here you can find for the 4.0 Debian. So if you see, yeah, this one is mentioned, and we have Docker pull Node-RED 4.0 Debian version. Okay, so this particular command we can choose, and then we can copy this particular command, and then we can go back to the putty and we can get it pulled. Okay, so let me go to the putty, and there we will put this particular command. So once we put this, then we will find that it is able to connect and it will download the latest version of the Node-RED. So it will take some time to get everything pulled complete and get it installed. After that, we can run the Docker command to run this Node-RED instance. Okay, and we can see that it is up and running as a healthy. So once it will come to run healthy condition, then we will be able to access it. So it is still starting. So it will take some time to get started, and then we will be able to get it access. It is up and healthy. Okay, so now we can go to the web browser and we can type the IP of the controller and 1880 port. So using this particular URL, we will be able to launch the Node-RED into the web browser, and then it will come to the welcome screen, and then it will show you all the updates, what it has got, what all the new features it has, so which we can walk through, or even we can close it by the close button, and we can go out from this particular model window. Okay, so for the Wago CC100, what we need to do is we need to install the nodes of the Wago CC100, which we can go to the palette, and then we can search for the Wago nodes or Wago library, and with that we can install. So if you see, we'll be able to find multiples of library which is related to CC100, but the one which we need to use is the contrib CC100. Okay, so once we install that particular for Wago, then it will come with all the sets of IO board which are there. So if you see read DI, which is 8, so 8 inputs directly coming into the uh, node itself. Similarly, we can configure for RTD, AI module, AO module, all those things we can configure utilizing these nodes, and we can be able to directly access the data from the Wago IO board. Okay, so it will allow us to directly interact, means without using any CoDeSys or using any different communication protocol, we will be able to get the data directly into the Node-RED, and we can program our solution utilizing this. So like I'm just doing it for the DO, so we can deploy it, and we can, when we give the false command, it will become false, and when we'll give the true command, it will be the on status on the hardware itself. Okay, so in this particular way, we can be able to access the IO into the Node-RED. All the values which are, whatever we are changing, we are able to read and write. And just for example, I'm sending the command to the AO board, AO card IO, and then we are reading it over the input of analog input. Okay, so as I have looped it, so same thing we can be able to do. So it is supporting for 0 to 10 volts, so we have to give the command from 0 to 10, not the counts, but it will be basically from 0 to 10. Okay, for the AO. So like that, we can be able to read the data. So let's go how exactly we can utilize the same feature using Node-RED, which we have checked using Python and C#. So if you see right now, it is running with the CodeSys. So CodeSys is connected to and producing the data for the digital input, output, and for analog output, analog input. Okay. Now the same thing we will be seeing it on different ID. So in the node, if you see the data which is changing, it is reflecting directly the same data as we are also connected. So it means that we don't have to change also in the background that without as a none. So code says node all can run at the same time and can access have the access to that directly to the IO. Okay, so that is also possible in this particular controller. So normally we used to set as data as none, and then we used to get the data from the IO board all through different connections. But here it will work as it is. Okay, so all are working at the same time. So the next section is where I will be connecting to the controller using Python and .NET. So if you see the application right now, so the screen on the screen, that UI which is developed using Wago picture is within the .NET, and we have another application which is developed in the Python Flet. Okay, so if you see in the Wago controller itself, we have DI as energized one and DO also, and DO I can toggle it from the UI itself. Okay, so when I'm toggling it is actually toggling also the output. Okay, so that we will see in the further part. So what exactly it is trying to do? So in this particular, whether it can be C#, .NET, or Java, or Python. Okay, so the basic concept remain is we need to first connect to the using SSH command to the controller, and then we have to read and write a file. So these files are present inside the CC controller, which they are exposing it out. Okay, using that file we can be able to read the input, and also we can write the output. So let me do one by one for each kind of IO, so it will be easily understandable. Okay, so what exactly we can do? So we have right now, if you see the command in the Python, in the command we have cat syskernel dout driver and dout data. So this is for the output. Okay, so right now when I'm reading, I want to read the output, then we have this particular file. Similarly, we have different file set for digital input, RTD, and the analog input and analog output. So right now what I'm doing is I'm putting it for the digital input, and I'm starting my application on the Python side. Okay, so now when I will change on the real hardware, the value will get updated on both. So okay, so when I put it to on, if you see, the value change to 1, and then when I put off, it will go to off. Okay, so that is how it is toggling. And the same thing we can see also on the .NET part. So that's how it will work. So we need to actually provide this path, and then based on the path of the file, we will be able to get the data. So in this way, means we can be able to connect to the controller, read and write the IO directly from any application, which means we are not fully dependent on the CoDeSys. We can develop our own application itself. So let me change it for analog input. So for the analog input, when I change, you can see the value is changing. Okay, so the value is right now reading it over the Python application. If you see, it is changing from 0 to some value 645, correct? So that particular value, why it is toggling, because it is having right now multiple commands on it. So earlier I had given for digital, so it is scanning all and giving us the value. So it is working like that. Similarly, for the RTD also we can do. So maybe voltage 0. So this files details I will put into the description, so maybe you can check it out. So there are different files, okay, for that purpose. So let me stop, and then when we will start, so right now it will be only for one. So voltage 0 underscore row, it is for analog input. Okay, so the value which you are seeing is it is coming in the count. We need to do also calibration, so that it will come in a proper manner. So right now it is coming under just the counts. Okay, and similarly we can change this particular thing for RTD. So let me put the file name as a different. So let me stop it, and so this is how the connections are. We have the RTD connected, we have the output connected to the input and the analog. So right now I connected here the RTD, and you can see that this particular value is changing for the RTD part as a count in 656 or 654. So this is I'm directly reading from the controller. Okay, so now for the digital input and digital output, let me just do another file. So this is for the digital input. Let me start. So right now if you see, the value is 0. Okay, I will start on this application also. Right now the value of the DI1 is 0. Okay, now I have changed to 1, and then you can see that at both the places it is changing to 1. So simultaneously both the application are reading it from the same path. And let me stop this one, and let me do it for the digital output. Okay, so digital output, when we will do, so we will be able to give the command also from our application, which we can develop in Python or .NET. So this is the file for digital output. Okay, right now it is 0. I will give a command from here, from the, so you can see that the value is 1 here, and the light is glowing based on the command. So when it is 0, it is off. So that is how we can be able to even control the digital output. So in this particular manner means we can be able to read, write all the data, and it can be utilized for using different applications. Yeah, this all in this particular video, mostly I think it would give you some insight about CC100 controller and how exactly we can utilize this controller even with different applications in spite of having only utilizing it with the basic CodeSys or Node-RED. So we have different ways to connect with this controller. Thanks for watching. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.